We like to think we have the world pretty much figured out, right? The laws of physics are supposed to be, well, laws. Gravity makes things fall, solid ground stays solid, and rocks don't just get up and move. These are the basic rules. But what happens when you find a place where those rules seem to get a little bendy? Welcome back to the channel Ultimate Explorers. Today we're looking at real documented events that still have scientists scratching their heads. We're not talking about myths or legends. We're talking about observable phenomena that challenge our neat and tidy understanding of the planet. From stones that mysteriously slide across a flat desert floor to giant explosive craters that appear overnight in the frozen Arctic, these are the mysteries that prove our world is far stranger than we often give it credit for.
First up, let's go to one of the most extreme places in North America, Death Valley. On a dried-up lake bed called Racetrack Playa, something happens that just shouldn't be possible. Huge stones, some weighing hundreds of pounds, appear to move all on their own. They don't roll, they slide, leaving long, deliberate tracks in the baked mud that can stretch for hundreds of feet. For decades, nobody ever saw it happen. Visitors would just find the rocks in new spots, with fresh trails behind them, as if they'd taken a journey while no one was watching.
The whole scene is a puzzle. The playa is incredibly flat, so it's not like the rocks are just rolling downhill. For years, people guessed at everything from freak windstorms to strange magnetic fields, and of course, aliens. Scientists were sure there was a logical answer, but the rocks might not move for a decade or more, making it almost impossible to study.
Finally, in the winter of 2013 to 2014, a research team got lucky. They'd put GPS trackers on some of the rocks, and then the perfect, incredibly rare sequence of events unfolded. First, a rare winter rain created a shallow pond. Then, a cold snap froze the water into a thin sheet of ice. As the morning sun warmed the playa, the ice started to break up into huge floating panels. A light wind, only about 10 miles per hour, started pushing these massive sheets of ice. When the ice panels bumped into the rocks, they acted like giant sails, giving the stones just enough of a push to get them sliding across the slick mud below. They moved slowly, just a few feet per minute, but it was enough to carve out those famous tracks.
So, case closed? Well, not exactly. While we now understand the how, it's the sheer coincidence of it all that makes it so remarkable. It takes the perfect amount of rain, the perfect temperature, and the perfect wind. For decades, it was a genuine scientific enigma that seemed to defy the basic laws of physics.
From a sun-scorched desert, let's jump to the other end of the spectrum, the frozen tundra of Siberia. This is a vast, remote landscape where the ground is supposed to be frozen solid year-round. But starting around 2014, that solid ground began to violently explode.
In July 2014, helicopter pilots flying over the Yamal Peninsula saw the first one, a massive crater, almost 100 feet across and over 165 feet deep. Dirt and rock had been blasted hundreds of feet away from the center, as if something deep underground had erupted. In the years since, more of these craters have been found, with at least 20 documented as of late 2024. These weren't slow sinkholes. They were the result of powerful, violent explosions. But what was causing them?
The prime suspect was quickly identified as methane gas. Siberia's permafrost is a gigantic freezer packed with frozen organic material. As the planet warms, the permafrost starts to thaw, and microbes break down that material, releasing huge amounts of methane. The leading theory is that this gas gets trapped in underground pockets, with the pressure building and building until it blows. Boom!
But it's a bit more complicated than just that. Research published in 2024 shows that warming alone isn't the only trigger. Scientists now believe the explosions are caused by a unique interaction between warming temperatures and the region's geology. As surface ice melts, water seeps down and puts immense pressure on pockets of super salty, unfrozen water deep within the permafrost. This pressure destabilizes the frozen methane hydrates below, leading to a sudden explosive release of gas.
The process can take decades, meaning the explosions happening now might have been set in motion back in the 1980s. This makes the craters a deeply unsettling warning sign. Methane is a powerful greenhouse gas, and the sudden release of huge volumes could create a dangerous feedback loop, accelerating climate change even further. These Siberian craters are a dramatic and powerful event that science is still racing to fully understand.
Our last mystery is maybe the most frustrating of all, because you can't see it. You can only hear it, and only if you're one of the unlucky few. In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, people have been reporting a strange, persistent, low-frequency sound since the early 1990s.
It's called the Taos hum. Those who hear it, about 2% of the local population, describe it as a faint droning or buzzing, like a diesel engine idling in the distance. It's often worse indoors and at night, and trying to cover your ears does nothing to stop it. For those affected, the hum can cause headaches, dizziness, and sleepless nights.
This became such a big deal that in 1993, the U.S. Congress actually ordered an investigation. Scientists from top institutions set up sensitive sound equipment all over town. Their findings were baffling. The people who heard the hum could all reliably identify its frequency, proving they were hearing the same thing. And yet, the high-tech microphones couldn't detect any sound that matched what they were describing.
They looked into everything: industrial equipment, power lines, high-pressure gas pipes, and even secret military activity. But nothing panned out. The official scientific conclusion is that the source of the Taos hum is still a complete mystery. This has led the debate to turn inward. Is it possible the source isn't external at all, but generated within the human body? Theories now range from a rare type of tinnitus to the idea that some people might be uniquely sensitive to low-frequency sounds or electromagnetic fields that are undetectable to most. The fact that similar hums are reported in other places around the world just makes the puzzle even deeper. The Taos hum is an invisible force, a sound that by all accounts shouldn't be there, yet continues to torment a small group of people.
So you've got stones that sail across the desert, a frozen landscape that explodes from below, and a phantom sound that only a handful of people can hear. These events are a powerful reminder that there are still profound mysteries hiding in plain sight, forces and phenomena that we're only just beginning to grasp. The world hasn't given up all its secrets just yet.
So what do you think? Which of these impossible events is the most fascinating to you? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you love exploring the unexplained, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can join us on our next journey into the unknown. Thanks for watching.